Hi, I'm Ayan,
And I'm Sid.
and you're watching Every Car.
Fun fact, did you guys know that the most expensive Skoda car ever made wasn't even a drivable car? It was the replica cake of the Fabia model. It was made for their 2007 TV advert. The cake cost almost 500,000 pounds to put together, surpassing as the most expensive car made by Skoda.
Speaking of Skoda, today we're going to be talking about the Skoda Kodiaq, which is going to be sitting right below the Skoda Karoq. It's going to compete against the Hyundai Creta, the Kia Seltos, and the MG Hector, which have already established themselves very well in the Indian market. It'll be offered in two different engine options, none of them being diesel. So stay tuned to the end of the video to see what we think about that.
The Skoda Kodiaq is based on its concept car called the Skoda Vision In, and Skoda has taken a lot of visual cues from that car. So the Skoda Kodiaq is based on Volkswagen's MQB A0 platform, which Volkswagen already uses in some of its other cars like the Audi A1, the Skoda Scala, the Volkswagen T-Cross and the Volkswagen Polo. From the design we can see that Skoda has gone for a more minimalistic look, which I think is quite good looking because it lets the car age very well. In terms of headlights and taillights, at the back, Skoda didn't choose to go with the LED tail light bar which ran across the whole back of the car as seen in the concept. We're quite sad that they didn't include it because we actually like that a lot. The headlights are very simple and elegant with an LED strip going across the sides of the car. We think it's a very nice touch to the car. The sidelines of the car have also been kept fairly simple. Some might say it's a little boring with just one line running across the door handle, but yes, that's what Skoda has gone with. The taillights in the Skoda Kodiaq also remind me of the taillights that you get in the Toyota RAV4, which is neither good nor bad in my opinion. It's just an observation. There are also a bunch of fake vents thrown around in the front and back of the car, which neither of us really like, and I don't think anyone does. So Skoda, stop putting fake vents in the cars.
In terms of the interior is pretty interesting as well. When we talk about the Skoda Vision In versus the Skoda Kodiaq, it's like comparing a Rolls Royce to a Tata Nano. Jokes aside, the interior in the Skoda Kodiaq is pretty well equipped, but not as well equipped as, let's say, the competitors, which is the Hyundai Creta. In the Hyundai Creta, you get a fully digital gauge cluster display, while in the Skoda Kodiaq, you only get a digital display in the center, and you get two analog old school dials. You also get a center display with navigation, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Lastly, you also get USB-C ports throughout the car, which is great for future-proofing it as well.
If you've liked the video so far, please do consider subscribing and liking the video. It would really help us out.
In terms of the engine, there are two engine options that you can get, none of them being diesel. So you can get a 113 horsepower, 175 Newton meters of torque, 1 liter engine with a 6-speed manual or automatic. Or you can upgrade to the 148 horsepower, 250 Newton meters of torque from a 1.5 liter engine with a 6-speed manual or a 7-speed automatic. In terms of the mileage, we have no idea what the mileage numbers are going to be, and those numbers are still yet to be revealed by Skoda.
The compact SUV market is growing at a very fast pace, and everyone is shifting from small little hatchbacks to slightly bigger SUVs. One of the main reasons why people do this is because of road presence. SUVs manage to give that sort of sense of butch road presence on the road, and everyone wants to sit up high up on the road, and SUVs manage to do that to a certain extent. Most Indian roads demand high ground clearance, and SUVs manage to provide that. Another important reason why people buy SUVs is for the space you get inside, and that is a very big pro for the Kodiaq. With a healthy 385 litre boot space and plenty of legroom in the rear seats, it's a perfect blend of legroom and boot space. Sitting at 1612mm tall, the car should also be fairly comfortable for people over 6 feet. Although it is smaller than its main competitors, the Creta and the Seltos, it makes it more maneuverable around the city, and it makes parking very easy. The tech inside the car is a hit and miss at few places. It does get an electric sunroof, but it is not the panoramic kind, which means it doesn't extend the whole roofline. It also doesn't get a fully digital driver's display even in its higher trims, which I think is very disappointing considering the fact that even small little hatchbacks get it nowadays. But it does pull itself back with its huge 10-inch touchscreen in the middle, and it also gets features like front ventilated seats, which I think is a very great feature that new manufacturers are providing nowadays. Unless you're having cloth seats, in which case I don't think front ventilated seats are a mandatory feature that they have to provide. The car sits in a very weird spot in the SUV lineup. It is not as big as the Creta or the Seltos or the MG Hector for that matter, but it is bigger than the subcompact SUVs. It also gets a peppy 150 horsepower turbo petrol engine, which should provide good performance. But it all comes crumbling down when you consider the fact that Skoda is not going to provide a diesel with this car, which is very, very disappointing in my opinion.
With all of that being said, the easy score for this car is
8 out of 10. One of the reasons why we gave it an 8 out of 10 is because it's a Skoda, and Skodas tend to break down at times and they may leave you stranded, and the repair bills with their cars are also on the pricier side. Another reason why we gave it 8 out of 10 was, I think you guys saw it coming, it doesn't get a diesel engine. And I think that's a big con with this car.
In terms of the release date of the car, we should see the deliveries commencing in July 2021. That's about it for the Skoda Kushaq. We can't wait for it to come out and see it on the Indian roads. If you want to watch our last video, you can click here.
And if you want to watch a video that YouTube recommends, click here. And if you want to subscribe, click here. And we'll see you on the next one. Peace.
Goodbye.
I look like Donald Trump with black hair.